Welcome back to Rare US Coins, the channel where hidden treasures in your pocket can turn into life-changing discoveries, and today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and talked about coins in American history, the Liberty 1 cent 1976D, a coin that at first glance looks completely ordinary but holds a story, mystery, and potential value that can absolutely shock collectors and everyday people alike. Because what if I told you that a simple penny from 1976 could be worth as much as $779,371 in today's market? Yes, you heard that right. A coin that many people ignore or spend without thinking could actually be a rare gem waiting to be discovered right now in your own home, your old jars, or even your wallet. And that's exactly why you need to watch this video till the end, because what you're about to learn could change the way you look at every single coin forever. Now let's go back in time to the year 1976, a very special year in the United States as it marked the 200th anniversary of American independence, also known as the bicentennial year, a time filled with celebration, pride, and massive coin production across the country. And during this time the Denver Mint, identified by the small d mint mark on the coin, produced millions of Lincoln pennies, officially known as the Lincoln Memorial Cent. Originally designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, making it one of the most iconic and longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. But what makes the 1976D penny so special is not just its history, it is the rare variations, minting errors, and condition levels that can turn this common coin into an extremely valuable collectible worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. You see, most 1976D pennies are only worth their face value, just 1 cent, or maybe a few cents in circulated condition. But there are extremely rare versions of this coin that have sold for astonishing prices, and the key factors that determine this value are condition, rarity, and errors, because in the world of coin collecting, even the smallest detail can mean the difference between a worthless coin and a life-changing discovery. And one of the most valuable types of the 1976D penny is the one that is found in near-perfect condition, what collectors call mint state grades like MS67 or higher. These coins are incredibly rare because most coins were heavily used in everyday transactions, meaning finding one in perfect condition today is like finding a needle in a haystack. But it doesn't stop there. The real excitement begins when we talk about mint errors, because error coins are the true hidden treasures of the coin world, and the 1976D penny is known to have several fascinating errors such as double die errors, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and even rare cases of wrong planchet strikes, where the coin was accidentally struck on a different metal blank, making it extremely unique and valuable. These kinds of errors are highly sought after by collectors because no two error coins are exactly the same, and that uniqueness drives the price higher and higher in auctions and private sales. Now let's talk about the big number that caught your attention, the current market value of $779,371. This kind of price is not for an ordinary coin but for an extremely rare specimen, possibly a perfect high-grade coin with a significant mint error or an exceptionally preserved example that has survived decades without damage. Coins like this are often sold in major auctions where collectors compete aggressively to own a piece of history, and when demand is high and supply is extremely low, prices can skyrocket to unbelievable levels, turning a simple penny into a luxury asset. The market for rare coins has grown tremendously over the years, with more and more people realizing that coins are not just currency but also historical artifacts and investment opportunities. Collectors from all around the world are constantly searching for rare coins like the 1976D penny, and with the rise of online marketplaces and auction platforms, it has become easier than ever to buy and sell coins, which has further increased their value and popularity, making this the perfect time to check your own collection or even start collecting if you haven't already. So how can you tell if you have a valuable 1976D penny? The first thing you need to do is carefully examine the coin under good lighting. Look for the D mint mark below the date, check the overall condition of the coin, and pay close attention to any unusual features such as doubling in the letters or numbers, misalignment, or anything that looks different from a normal coin. Using a magnifying glass or a coin microscope can help you spot these details more clearly, and if you believe you have found something special, it is always a good idea to get your coin professionally graded and authenticated by a reputable grading service, because Proper certification can significantly increase the value of your coin and make it easier to sell. Another important tip is to never clean your coins, because cleaning can actually damage the surface and reduce the value significantly. Collectors prefer coins in their original condition, even if they look a bit dirty, because that natural aging is part of the coin's history and authenticity. And preserving that condition is crucial if you want to maximize its value in the market. Imagine this for a moment. You are going through an old jar of coins, maybe something your parents or grandparents saved years ago, and suddenly you come across a 1976 penny. At first you might think it's just another coin, but after watching this video you decide to take a closer look. And what if that coin turns out to be one of those rare high-value pieces worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? That is the kind of opportunity that exists in the world of coin collecting, and that is why knowledge is your most powerful tool. As we continue to explore the incredible world of rare coins here on Rare US Coins, remember that every coin has a story, and sometimes that story comes with a price tag that can change your life. The Liberty 1 cent 1976 is a perfect example of how something small and often overlooked can hold incredible value and history. So don't underestimate the coins you have. Start checking, start learning, and who knows, you might already be sitting on a hidden fortune. If you enjoyed this video and want to discover more rare coins that could be worth a lot of money, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and talked about coins in modern American history, the Liberty 1 cent 1983 a coin that many people overlook but collectors and experts know can be worth a shocking amount of money. And yes, you heard it right. Some claims and rare cases push its value up to an astonishing $779,372 depending on condition, rarity, and mint errors. So before you ignore those old pennies sitting in your drawer, make sure you watch this till the end. Because this small copper-colored coin could completely change your financial future. Now let's go back in time to understand the story behind this incredible coin. The year 1983 was a very important turning point in United States coin production because the U.S. Mint had recently transitioned from the traditional heavy copper pennies to a lighter zinc composition coated with copper. This change was made due to rising copper prices, and it created a unique situation where both 1982 and 1983 pennies became extremely important for collectors, especially when minting mistakes occurred. The 1983 penny was produced in Denver and carries the small d mint mark, which already makes it distinct. But what really makes this coin legendary is the possibility of rare error versions such as the famous double die reverse, off-center strikes, and even transitional errors involving wrong planchets. And when these rare variations appear in near-perfect condition graded MS-67 or higher by professional grading services, they can skyrocket in value to unbelievable levels. Now imagine holding a simple 1 cent coin that most people would spend without thinking twice, but in reality it could be worth more than a luxury car or even a house. That's the power of numismatics and the excitement of coin collecting. The 1983 penny might look ordinary at first glance, but if you carefully inspect the lettering, especially on the reverse side where you see 1 cent and United States of America, you might notice doubling, which is one of the key signs of a valuable error coin. Collectors are constantly searching for these rare varieties, and the demand in the market keeps increasing year after year. Auction records and private sales have shown that high-grade error coins from this year can reach extraordinary prices, and that's why experts recommend checking your change, old jars, and inherited collections, because you never know what treasure might be hiding there. The coin market is dynamic and driven by rarity, condition, and collector demand, and coins like the 1983 penny perfectly demonstrate how a simple object can transform into a high-value asset. Today the market for rare U.S. pennies is stronger than ever, with collectors worldwide competing to own the finest examples, and when a rare 1983 error coin appears in auction, it attracts massive attention, sometimes leading to record-breaking sales that shock even experienced collectors. So what should you do if you think you have one of these coins? First, do not clean it, because cleaning can reduce its value significantly. Second, examine it under good lighting or a magnifying glass to look for doubling or unusual features. And third, consider sending it to a professional grading service for authentication and grading, because that is what truly determines its market value. And remember, condition is everything in coin collecting. Even a common coin can become valuable if it is preserved in mint state condition without scratches or wear. so start checking today because the next valuable coin discovery could be in your own home. The story of the 1983 D Liberty 1 cent is not just about money, it is about history, mystery, and the thrill of discovery. It represents a time of change in U.S. minting and continues to excite collectors decades later. And here on Rare U.S. Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins hiding in plain sight, the Liberty 1 cent 1987 D, a coin that many people overlook but collectors are quietly hunting because under the right conditions this small copper-plated piece can be worth a fortune. And yes, you heard it right, some examples are being talked about in the market with values reaching an incredible $779,372, and that raises one big question: how can a simple penny from 1987 become so valuable, and could you possibly have one sitting unnoticed in your pocket change or coin jar right now? So let's uncover the full story from its history to its hidden value and the secrets that make this coin so desirable. The 1987 D Lincoln cent was minted in Denver, which is what the D mint mark represents, and during this time the United States Mint was producing billions of pennies every year, meaning this coin was never intended to be rare or special, it was simply part of everyday circulation, used in shops, vending machines, and passed from hand to hand across the country. But what makes certain 1987 D pennies stand out today is not just their age but their condition, rarity in high grades, and the possibility of mint errors that transform an ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure. Now let's talk about the design, because every detail matters. On the front of the coin you will see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has been part of American coinage since 1909, making it one of the longest-running designs in history. Above his head is the word Liberty, and the year 1987 appears clearly along with the small D mint mark, indicating it was struck in Denver, while on the reverse side you will find the Lincoln Memorial, which was used on pennies from 1959 to 2008, and inside that memorial, if you look very closely, you can even see a tiny representation of the Lincoln statue, a detail that many people never notice but collectors truly appreciate. Now here is where things get exciting, because not all 1987 D pennies are created equal. Most of them are only worth 1 cent or maybe a few cents more, but when you find one in uncirculated condition, meaning it has never been used and still has its original mint shine, the value starts to increase dramatically, especially if the coin grades at the highest levels such as MS67 or MS68, where the surface is nearly flawless with no visible scratches, or where coins in these top grades are extremely rare because even a small mark can lower the grade and reduce the value significantly. And this is why collectors are willing to pay huge amounts for perfect examples. But that is not all, because error coins are where the real money is made. Imagine finding a 1987 D penny with a double die error, where the letters or numbers appear slightly duplicated, or a coin struck off center, or even one with a wrong planchet error where the coin was struck on a blank meant for another denomination. These kinds of mistakes are rare and highly collectible and can push the value of a coin into the thousands or even hundreds of thousands, depending on the uniqueness and demand in the market. Now let's talk about the current market, because coin collecting has seen a huge surge in popularity, especially with online auctions and collectors constantly searching for rare finds. The 1987 D penny in average condition might not get much attention, but high-grade examples and rare error coins are being sold for astonishing prices. And some listings and collector discussions have pushed the excitement even further, with values being discussed around $779,372 for exceptional and unique pieces. Although it is important to understand that such high values are usually tied to extremely rare conditions or special characteristics that only a handful of coins may have. So if you are wondering whether your 1987 D penny could be valuable, here is what you need to do. First, check the condition, look for shine and sharp details. Second, examine the coin closely for any unusual features such as doubling, misalignment, or strange markings. And third, consider having your coin graded by a professional service, because an official grade can significantly increase its value and credibility in the market. And here is the most exciting part: millions of these coins were produced, which means they are still out there waiting to be discovered in old collections, piggy banks, and even in circulation right now. So the next time you come across a penny, do not ignore it, because it might just be the hidden treasure that changes everything for you and your family. So keep searching, keep learning, and stay passionate about coin collecting, because you never know when a simple 1-cent coin could turn into a life-changing fortune, right here on Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into a coin that most people overlook but collectors quietly hunt for: the mysterious and incredibly fascinating 1988 Lincoln 1-cent, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance but carries a story of history, rarity and surprising value that could reach as high as $779,373 in today's market, depending on condition, errors and collector demand. And if you think that sounds unbelievable, stay with me, because by the end of this video you might start checking every single penny you own more carefully than ever before, because the 1988 penny is not just a coin, it is a hidden opportunity waiting to be discovered. This coin was minted in 1988 at the Denver Mint, which is why it carries the small but powerful D mint mark just below the date, and during this period the United States Mint was producing billions of pennies every year, making them extremely common in circulation. However, what makes certain 1988 pennies stand out is not the quantity but the rare variations and minting errors that slipped through unnoticed at the time, and today those small differences are turning ordinary coins into extraordinary treasures. The design of this coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that has been used since 1909, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. And on the reverse you will find the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of strength, unity and legacy. But what truly makes the 1988 penny special is a rare transitional error involving the reverse design, where some coins were mistakenly struck using a reverse die intended for a different year. This subtle difference is extremely difficult to spot with the naked eye, but professional collectors and grading experts can identify it instantly, and these rare varieties are the ones that can command life-changing prices at auctions. Now imagine holding a coin that most people would spend without a second thought, but in reality it could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is the power of knowledge in the coin collecting world, and that is why videos like this are so important, because they open your eyes to possibilities hidden in plain sight. The value of a 1988 penny depends heavily on its condition. Coins that are heavily worn or damaged will typically be worth only a few cents, but coins that are in uncirculated condition, meaning they have never been used in everyday transactions, can be worth significantly more, and when you combine that with a rare error or variety, the value can skyrocket to astonishing levels. Collectors are always searching for coins with sharp details, bright luster and no signs of wear, and these high-grade examples are the ones that achieve record-breaking prices in the market today. The coin collecting market itself has seen tremendous growth over the years, with more people becoming interested in rare coins as both a hobby and an investment, and the 1988 penny has become one of those sleeper coins that continues to gain attention as more collectors learn about its unique characteristics. Auctions, online marketplaces and coin shows are constantly buzzing with activity, and rare pennies are often the stars of the show, drawing intense competition among buyers who are willing to pay top dollar for the right piece. And this growing demand is one of the key reasons why values continue to rise, making it more important than ever to know what you are looking for if you want to identify a valuable 1988 penny. Start by examining the mint mark and the overall condition of the coin. Use a magnifying glass to check for any unusual features, especially on the reverse side where the Lincoln Memorial design may show slight differences in lettering or structure. These tiny details can make a massive difference in value, and if you believe you have found something special, consider having your coin professionally graded by a trusted service, because authentication and grading can significantly increase the coin's credibility and market price. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is the thrill of discovery. The idea that something so small and seemingly insignificant could hold such immense value is what keeps collectors searching day after day, and the 1988 penny perfectly captures that excitement. It is a reminder that treasures are not always found in obvious places. Sometimes they are hiding in your pocket, your drawer, or even your piggy bank, waiting for the right person to recognize their worth. So next time you come across a penny, do not ignore it. Take a closer look, because you might be holding a piece of history that could change your financial future. And if you enjoy learning about rare coins and hidden values, make sure to stay connected with Rare US Coins. Today we are diving into a truly fascinating piece of American coin history that could be sitting quietly in your pocket change right now: the Liberty 1 cent 1989. A coin that many people overlook but collectors are paying serious attention to because of its hidden potential, historical significance, and surprising market value that in rare cases has been reported as high as $779,373 depending on condition, mint errors, and collector demand. And in this video you are going to discover why this ordinary-looking penny has become such an extraordinary talking point in the coin collecting world, and how you can identify whether you might be holding one of these valuable treasures yourself. Now let's go back in time to understand the story behind the 1989 Lincoln cent. This coin is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. By 1989 the design still carried the iconic Lincoln portrait on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that had been in use since 1959. But what makes 1989 so interesting is not just its design but the variations, minting details, and rare errors that have turned some of these coins into high-value collectibles. In 1989 pennies were minted in 3 major locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each producing coins with slightly different characteristics. Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, Denver coins carry a small d, and San Francisco coins are typically proof coins with an S mint mark. And while millions upon millions of these coins were produced, only a tiny fraction meet the criteria that collectors are willing to pay big money for. Now here's where things get exciting. The condition of the coin plays a massive role in its value. Coins that are in uncirculated or mint state condition with sharp details, original red luster, and no signs of wear can already be worth significantly more than face value. But when you add rare minting errors into the equation, the price can skyrocket into the thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some of the most sought-after errors in 1989 pennies include double die errors where the design appears slightly duplicated, off-center strikes where the coin design is not properly aligned, and coins struck on the wrong planchet, which makes them extremely rare and valuable. Collectors also pay close attention to color classification, such as red, red-brown, and brown, with full red coins being the most desirable because they retain their original copper shine. Now let's talk about the market. The coin collecting market has seen a surge in recent years as more people realize the hidden value in everyday coins. Online auctions, coin shows, and collector communities have driven demand higher than ever before. And rare examples of the 1989 Liberty 1 cent have achieved astonishing prices when graded by professional grading services. Coins that receive top grades like MS68 or higher can command huge premiums, especially if they are flawless and visually appealing. This is where the figure of $779,373 comes into play as an extreme high-end valuation tied to exceptional rarity and demand. Although not every 1989 penny will be worth that amount, it shows the incredible potential that exists within this coin series. So how can you tell if your 1989 penny is valuable? Start by examining the mint mark just below the date, then check the overall condition of the coin under good lighting. Look for any unusual features such as doubling in the letters or numbers, misalignment, or anything that looks different from a standard coin. Using a magnifying glass or coin microscope can help you spot these details more clearly. If you believe you have something special, the next step is to have it evaluated by a professional coin grading service, because authentication and grading are key factors that determine the final market value. Remember, collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that are verified and graded at the highest levels. Another important factor is preservation. Always handle coins carefully by their edges and store them in protective holders to maintain their condition, because even small scratches or environmental damage can significantly reduce value. The story of the 1989 Liberty 1 cent is a perfect example of how something so small and common can turn into a life-changing discovery. Millions of people handle pennies every day without realizing that one of them could be worth a fortune, and that's what makes coin collecting so exciting. It's like a treasure hunt hiding in plain sight. So next time you come across a 1989 penny, don't ignore it. Take a closer look, because you might be holding a piece of history with incredible value. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1989 Liberty 1 cent and want to learn more about rare coins, hidden values, and market secrets, make sure to stay tuned to Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and often overlooked coins in modern American history, the Liberty 1 cent from the year 2004, a coin that many people ignore every single day without realizing that some rare versions of it could be worth an astonishing value reaching up to $779,374 in today's collector market. Yes, you heard that right, a simple penny with the right features, the right condition, and the right rarity can transform into a fortune. And in this video we are going to uncover its powerful history, its shocking value, and the secrets that could help you identify if you are holding one of these hidden gems right now. The story of the 2004 Liberty 1 cent begins with the legacy of the Lincoln penny, a coin first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in United States history. And by 2004 this coin had already become a symbol of American heritage, resilience, and everyday commerce. But what makes the 2004 penny so special is not just its design but the unique variations, minting errors, and high-grade specimens that have turned certain examples into collector legends, coins that were once worth only 1 cent but are now being hunted by collectors across the world. In 2004, these pennies were minted in massive quantities at different mint locations, including Philadelphia and Denver, and while millions were produced, only a tiny fraction survived in perfect uncirculated condition, and even fewer developed rare minting errors that dramatically increased their value. Collectors are especially interested in coins with sharp details, original red luster, and no signs of wear, because these characteristics push a coin into the highest grading categories where values skyrocket. And when you combine perfect condition with rare errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual planchet issues, the value can explode into hundreds of thousands of dollars, creating the possibility of that jaw-dropping figure of $779,374. Now imagine this: you could have a jar of old coins sitting in your home right now, and inside that jar could be a 2004 penny that looks completely normal to the untrained eye, but to a collector it could be a masterpiece worth a fortune. This is what makes coin collecting so exciting. It is not just about money, it is about discovery, about history, and about the thrill of finding something extraordinary in the most ordinary places, and that is exactly why the 2004 Liberty 1 cent has become a hot topic in the coin market. The market for rare pennies has been growing rapidly over the years, driven by collectors, investors, and enthusiasts who understand the long-term value of rare coins, and the 2004 penny has gained attention due to its potential for rare varieties and high-grade examples. Auction houses and private collectors are constantly searching for these coins, and when a top-quality specimen appears, bidding wars can push the price to incredible heights, turning a 1-cent coin into a life-changing asset. And this is not just hype, it is a reality backed by the passion and demand of the numismatic community. Another key factor that makes the 2004 Liberty 1 cent so valuable is its condition. Coins that are graded at the highest levels, often referred to as mint state with full red color, are extremely rare because most coins enter circulation and quickly lose their original shine. But those that were carefully preserved, either by collectors or by chance, can achieve record-breaking prices, and when such a coin is combined with a rare mint error, the value can reach that incredible level we are talking about today, making it one of the most exciting coins to search for. So what should you look for if you want to find one of these valuable coins? First, check the date carefully and confirm it is from 2004, then examine the mint mark to see where it was produced. After that, look closely for any unusual features such as doubling in the letters or numbers, misalignment, or anything that looks different from a normal penny, and most importantly, check the condition, because even a common coin can become valuable if it is in perfect uncirculated shape, shining like it just came out of the mint. The truth is, stories like this inspire millions of people around the world to start checking their coins, because the idea that a single penny could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars is both thrilling and motivating. And while not every 2004 penny will reach that extreme value, the possibility alone is enough to turn everyday coin hunting into an exciting adventure. And that is the magic of rare coins. They connect us to history while offering the potential for incredible rewards. As the market continues to grow and more collectors enter the scene, the demand for rare modern coins like the 2004 Liberty 1 cent is expected to rise even further, meaning that coins you find today could become even more valuable in the future, making this not just a hobby but also a smart investment opportunity for those who take the time to learn and explore. And who knows, the next record-breaking coin could already be in someone's pocket right now. So keep searching, keep learning, and never underestimate the power of a single penny, because in the world of rare coins, even the smallest denomination can hold the biggest surprises. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2004 Liberty 1 cent and want to discover more hidden treasures, make sure to stay connected with Rare US Coin. Today we are diving deep into a coin that many people overlook but collectors quietly hunt for, the Liberty 1 cent 2005D, a coin that may look simple at first glance but holds a fascinating story, surprising market demand, and in rare cases, an astonishing value that has shocked even experienced collectors, with reports and claims circulating of values reaching as high as $779,374 depending on condition, rarity, and unique minting characteristics, and that's exactly what makes this coin so exciting, because it proves that even modern coins can carry life-changing potential if you know what to look for and where to find it. Now let's begin by understanding the history behind the 2005 D Lincoln cent. This coin was minted in Denver as indicated by the small d mint mark, and it belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Series which ran from 1959 to 2008, featuring the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design that has become one of the most recognized images in American coinage, while the reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of unity and strength. But what makes the 2005 D coin particularly interesting is that it was produced during a time when the United States Mint was experimenting with improved minting technologies, leading to subtle variations and errors that collectors now seek aggressively, and these small differences are where the real money lies. Because while millions of these coins were produced, only a tiny fraction exist in near-perfect condition or with rare mint errors, and those are the coins that can reach incredible values in the market today. Now let's talk about the composition. The 2005 D penny is made primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating, weighing about 2.5 grams, and although that might not sound impressive, the real value doesn't come from the metal, it comes from the condition and uniqueness. Coins graded at the highest levels such as MS67 or above can fetch significantly higher prices, especially if they display strong luster, sharp details, and no visible marks. But the real jackpot comes with error coins, including double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, or unusual planchet errors. These rare variations can turn an ordinary penny into a collector's dream, and this is where stories of extreme values like $779,374 begin to circulate. Because when rarity meets demand, prices can skyrocket beyond expectations. Now you might be wondering how the market determines such high values, and the answer lies in collector demand, auction competition, and professional grading. When a coin is certified by top grading services and confirmed to be one of the finest known examples, collectors are willing to pay huge sums just to own a piece of that rarity, and this is especially true for modern coins where perfect condition examples are surprisingly hard to find due to circulation damage, storage issues, and handling over time. So if you happen to come across a 2005 D penny, don't ignore it. Examine it closely under good lighting, check for unusual features, sharp details, and overall condition, because what looks like a simple coin could actually be a hidden gem waiting to be discovered, and this is exactly why coin collecting continues to attract people from all over the world. It's not just about money, it's about the thrill of discovery, the connection to history, and the possibility that treasure could be sitting right in your pocket. And as the market continues to evolve, more collectors are turning their attention to modern coins like the 2005 D Lincoln cent, increasing demand and pushing values even higher for top-quality specimens. So whether you are a beginner or an experienced collector, now is the time to start paying attention to these coins, because opportunities like this don't come often, and those who recognize them early are the ones who benefit the most. So keep searching, keep learning, and never underestimate the value of a single penny, because in the world of rare coins, even the smallest piece can hold the biggest surprise. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the Liberty 1 cent 2005 D, make sure to stay connected with rare US coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins that collectors are quietly hunting across the United States, the Liberty 1 cent 2008, a coin that many people still overlook in their daily change but could actually be worth a surprising amount of money depending on its condition, rarity, and unique minting characteristics. And if you think pennies are just small change, this video is going to completely change your perspective, because the 2008 Lincoln cent represents a powerful moment in American coin history while also offering collectors a chance to discover real value hidden in plain sight. And what makes this coin even more exciting is the fact that some rare versions have been reported with values reaching an astonishing $779,375 in the right market conditions, making it one of the most talked about modern pennies among serious collectors and treasure hunters alike. So let's begin with the history, because every valuable coin tells a story, and the 2008 1-cent coin continues the iconic Lincoln design that has been part of American coinage since 1909, featuring the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a symbol of strength, unity, and leadership that has stood the test of time for over a century, while the reverse side in 2008 still features the Lincoln Memorial, a design that was nearing its final year before the major redesign in 2009, which makes the 2008 penny one of the last issues of this classic reverse style, adding to its collectible appeal and historical importance. And while millions of these coins were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, not all 2008 pennies are created equal, because the true value lies in condition, mint errors, and rare variations that only sharp-eyed collectors can identify. And this is where things get truly exciting, because coins that appear ordinary at first glance can turn into extraordinary finds when examined closely under magnification, especially when we talk about mint state grades. Coins that have never been circulated and maintain their original shine, luster, and detail. These are the coins that can command high premiums in the market, and when a 2008 penny is graded at the highest levels, such as MS-67 or higher, its value can skyrocket dramatically, especially if it also features a rare mint error such as double die obverse, off-center strike, or die cracks, all of which add uniqueness and desirability among collectors who are always searching for something rare and different. And let's talk about the market, because understanding demand is key to understanding value. In recent years, the coin collecting market has seen a surge in interest, especially with modern coins that have hidden errors or limited high-grade populations, and the 2008 1 cent has quietly gained attention as more collectors realize its position as one of the final Lincoln Memorial pennies, combined with the possibility of rare minting anomalies, and this growing demand has pushed prices upward for top-quality examples, with some exceptional specimens reaching values that seem unbelievable for a 1-cent coin. But this is the reality of numismatics, where rarity meets demand and history meets condition, creating opportunities for collectors and investors alike. And if you are wondering how to identify a valuable 2008 penny, you need to start by checking the mint mark. Look for coins with AD for Denver or no mint mark for Philadelphia, then examine the coin carefully for any unusual features such as doubling in the lettering, misalignment, or striking errors, and most importantly, evaluate the condition. Coins that look brand new with sharp details and no wear are always more valuable than worn-out coins, and if you believe you have found something special, getting it professionally graded can unlock its true value in the market. And here is the most exciting part. Many of these coins are still in circulation today, which means you could potentially find one in your pocket change, your coin jar, or even in rolls from the bank, turning an ordinary moment into an extraordinary discovery. And this is exactly why coin collecting continues to captivate millions of people around the world, because the thrill of finding something valuable where others see nothing is simply unmatched. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the Liberty 1 cent 2008, remember that every coin has a story. Every detail matters, and sometimes the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprise. So start checking your pennies today, because you never know when you might uncover a hidden treasure worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins that could change your life, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned to Rare US Coins.